Hey, fam, what's up? We just want to give you a little recap from the great podcast of Galactic Guardians. We want to dive in deeper with you on what is really the setup here on Earth. So you're rocking with your girl, Meg. You got Mr. Tsunami over here. And we took some notes, and I'm actually going to hold these notes to just be, we want to be direct and very just bullet point, bullet point, bullet point. And then we will most definitely dive into these bullet points at a great time, but not right now. So here we go. So, starting at birth, arriving on Earth. Birth is a bit of a setup.
Birthing, let's just say, how are children being birthed into this world? When you take as an example the hospitals we have today, they're not in a way to bring a child into the world in a harmonious, loving way. It's a shock having these doctors and lights and disharmonious environments, first off, right? Mm-hmm. Or circumcision, which is happening for the boys, right? Which is causing trauma right off the bat.
Totally. Mm-hmm. And growing up, then the people that aren't circumcised, you know, they're having all of these thoughts, like, is my lingdom pretty enough? You know, so there's a lot of trauma here. And now we're going to hit having a birth certificate. Immediately, you're signing your rights away to the government. Immediately. But we don't even know this stuff because we have not been told this stuff, because this stuff has been hidden from systems to entrap and enslave humanity so that we understood their systems, and then we were their little hamster or energy to feed their systems, continuing to feed their systems. But we are here to dismantle those systems.
And we'll dive a lot deeper into that subject of sovereignty and steps you can take back your sovereignty that's been unfortunately taken away from us because we give our rights away. Yeah. So when we can inform ourselves and be knowledgeable, we can take our power back.
Mm-hmm. Right away, you are being injected with a bunch of vaccines right at the hospital.
I don't even know how many it is now. It's a lot.
Do we really know what's going into the ingredients of this? Or is it just doctors that were told specific ways and what is the ingredients in their own system? They're reading the books. This is the schooling they have to go to. Yes, this is totally right for the children. Yes. And then they follow the lead. Even if you are a doctor and you want to help humanity, you're here to help and serve. The systems that are being taught for the doctors are controlled by toxic creators, systems, people, to entrap humanity.
Yeah.
It is what it is. This is what it is, and we are here to show you that this is what it is.
I mean, when you look at the medical system and how it was started in the West by the Rockefeller family, based off petroleum-based pharmaceuticals, and how they were the ones that put together the education system for doctors in the West, and all of the efforts that have been made by this Western medical system to really bash and make sure that these, let's say, holistic healing modalities and rife frequencies and treatments that are so powerful for the human body, that they tried to pass off as quackery and stuff that won't work. But really, there's a lot of stuff that does exist that can heal us, that can benefit us in such a great way.
If you don't know about the Rockefellers, did I say the name right?
The Rockefellers, yeah.
Yeah, you said the name right. You should look this up because they should be known around the world that they are intoxifying us.
Schooling.
Those systems have been implemented so that we are running in a flow of what they want to teach us. Very narrow-minded, straight to the books of just what this is.
A very limited box that is designed to turn people into essentially humanoid robots that can get really good test grades by learning repetition and doing repetition versus being creators and thinking outside of the box and tuning into their innate wisdom that they already have, which is why the whole schooling system needs to be revamped. Fortunately, there's a lot of brilliant minds that are thinking of these new ways of revamping schooling. And so we can start teaching the children what they should really be learning about wisdom and these things.
And we are totally creating a new schooling system on the islands that we are building, at the temples that we are building, at the castles that we are building. And these are creative schools, activation schools with ancient techniques that activate your superpowers, your super mind. We're breaking through these systems. We ain't here to play! Where are we?
So,
we're here to play.
Yeah, and that whole just system of go to school, go to college, get a career, and lead to your path of retirement, which is this whole carrot and stick maneuver that is the society of the rat race, right? Which retirement in general, to think that, oh, I'm looking forward to this time where I can do nothing with my life anymore, which is essentially choosing to just slowly start.
Well, I wouldn't really think like, oh, retirement, I'm doing nothing. It would be like, oh, heck yeah, I don't have to work. Oh, heck yeah, you know, like my work's done. Now I'm going to receive a good amount of money. Let me go travel and play. Honestly, I wouldn't see it as doing nothing. But retirement is a trick too. Who's running all your money? The governments. And you're working your whole life away to then be able to go enjoy.
Yeah.
You know, so
yeah, waiting.
It's a trick.
It's always waiting for something. Oh, I just got to keep slaving away for a little bit more till I can really live.
Yeah, and these systems are paying you a specific amount of money, knowing that you have bills to pay, car payment, house payment. It's all very much so mastered, planned out ahead of time, knowing that it'll be a struggle for humanity here. Let's create all of these jobs and they'll work from this hour to this hour and we're going to give them this amount of money. So it's a huge trick.
Yeah, which starts even with college. When most students that go to college start off in life as an adult with debt right out of college. So they're already in the loop of how can I get ahead, right?
And that was a huge plan. So we're going to hit it off with governments now. Governments. Many of the governments are corrupted, playing on very old systems, trying to draw these systems out for death, literally. But the government is very deep, and we'll go into that.
Yeah. Even two parties. What does a two-party system do? It's dividing, right? So it's set
You're
up.
You're talking about the Democrats to the Republicans, two parties, right?
There is, of course, other third parties other than the Democrats and Republicans, but the way that the system's set up is in a way that they can't ever win. They're even put to the side in other even debates. They're not even in the official debates.
Yeah, and are we even really told that there's another middle half, you know?
Yeah, these are some of the big topics that are so important moving forward in regards to government, in regards to even voting. We're still doing mail-in voting ballots when we have technology and things that can make it where utilizing stuff like blockchain and these things where it can't be these faking ballots and things that have happened in past elections. So moving forward, there's a lot of change needed in that.
Financials?
The financial system.
Tell me more.
Oh, well, let's just start with how, let's just talk about America here. How the Federal Reserve is a private organization that isn't even the government. That originally the US dollar was supposed to be backed by gold, but it really isn't anymore. And how within the last few years, they've printed almost a majority of the new money supply current money supply has been printed in the last years alone, causing a lot of inflation. As we see what's happening in the world with the prices of gas and all of these things.
I mean, gas is another one. Oil. That's a huge scam. Should we hit it on that one?
But I mean, oil, let's just say oil energy, right? Let's just say that energy is in abundance. Ever since a long time ago, even Tesla was trying to bring out free energy systems for the world.
Yeah.
But there was other players that didn't want that to happen, and there's been a lot of great minds and inventors that have built revolutionary technologies for the planet that ended up getting killed or taken out, or their inventions never made it to market. So there's solutions, but unfortunately there's been a lot of greed and manipulation and things within our system at all levels.
Rock and roll, yo. We're hitting it. This is probably going to be a little longer video, actually, now that we're just going into it. So, let's see. Food, the ingredients in the food is very toxic. There's people behind the food systems that are putting bugs in our food. And we've been shown to eat fast food, and fast food is actually one of the worst things for our body to elevate ourselves. All of the food that we're talking about right now is to really keep your mind in a lower vibrational frequency, and to also have your mind repeating loops. And these systems know this and personally pushed eating foods like this, pushed it on TV and so forth, for us to put it into our being, our mind, and then be curious. Oh yeah, I totally want Taco Bell. Oh, dang, that taco looks good. Let's go get it. So it's all part of the systems that are corrupted. Hitting it on media, subliminal programming.
What is, Now tuning in to tonight's programming. That's what it is. It's programming. Programming the mind. We are like a human computer where we install programs, software, right? So
we're a sponge. Our being is an intelligent sponge. What's the sponge mean? Can you express to the people, what do you mean, Meg, you're a sponge?
Well, we, as a sponge, meaning we can soak up information. That's what we are made up of. Our body is a culmination of information and memory, both in this own lifetime as well as accumulated over past lifetimes as well, on a soul level, right? So as a sponge, we soak up our environment. We soak up those that we're around and we spend our time with. We soak up the media that we're consuming when we turn on the TV or put on music, right?
Yeah, and all of that is energy. Everything created is energy. Energy, light is energy. Everything is energy. And everything is also a creation. And so if we are soaking up memory, we're like this really epic, intelligent creation. And so what is feeding our sponge, our memory?
Yeah.
And it's nuts, but it just, boom. Now someone come into my ear. All of a sudden, I don't even cuss. I walk down the street. Fuck. Oh, shoot. Dang, that just hit me from there to there. It's very rapid, very quickly. So.
Toxic companies, corporations. Look at who is really running the game, the show here. Look who's running the politics, how these politicians are able to get paid, for their campaigns by the corporate companies and the pharmaceuticals. And then even when you look at what happened in the last few years with the pandemic and how the Walmarts and the Amazons and all these major corporations were able to stay open, but they were closing down the small businesses, right? So when you start looking at all those things, you start really seeing, whoa, okay, this system is massively getting manipulated and it's getting run by people that are playing a game that's very interconnected to all of these things that we're listing out here.
And with that, we also want to hit it off on the chemicals. These toxic companies getting paid to put chemicals on our earth. We're talking about chemtrails right now specifically. Ooh. There are people getting paid to drive planes and just put toxicity all over our planet.
It's happening
Who
everywhere,
are these
actually.
People? We come together. Let's take these people down. It's happening. We're taking them down. But here we are bringing awareness to distribute this awareness all over the world. It's time.
It's time to clean our waters, our lands, our soils, our air, our bodies, our temples.
So 15 minutes.
How's your voice going? Okay.
Music.
People are being paid off. Celebrities, many celebrities being paid off to do commercials so that, like, they're getting paid off to do commercials for fast food.
The manipulation of music, because music was originally supposed to be in tune of 432 hertz. There were some of these organizations that came together and decided to change the tuning, the standard tuning of music to something that you couldn't really tell the difference, but energetically it creates disharmony instead of harmony in the body, which music's supposed to do.
And there's a lot of celebrities being paid to speak spells, energy, speak words, because then you can hear it goes through your being. And what is being spoken about in this music? Is it elevating you? I mean, what we're speaking about here is a lot of music that is having a lot of cuss words, saying a lot of lower things,
Twisted messages.
Twisted things.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so dirty. I don't even want to say it. It's just when I'm listening to music, I'm like, is this really what they're talking about? This is horrible.
Yeah. And then these people are getting glorified in society as celebrities and influencers.
And then people are listening to this music. Like, yeah, I mean, there was a time when I was like driving my cool car, playing the most nastiest ever. And I'm like, yeah, and it's just when you elevate and you see what games are being played, you see the bigger picture of what's happening. But you don't see it when you're in this fully, small vortex of being consumed with all of this toxicity. You can't see it.
Yeah.
You have to get yourself to a point of going through that veil and then seeing, and you're like, oh my God, what? So it comes a time that it just happens for you, or you take the information in that people are saying that are of a higher awareness, and you are intrigued. You want to learn. Huh? Well, tell me more. That's what happened to me. What? Oh, let me figure out some more. Okay, now we're going to hit it off with what is the higher reality of this creation? Because we just showed you what is being... We just showed you a lower vibrational reality that's being just shoved in our face. And though that is just one side, that is actually pretty small. It's actually not as big as we think it is. It's a small spectrum of what this vast, amazing, fruitful creation is. So now we want to hit it off on what are some of the higher realities of this creation. Like, humans are multidimensional. And if you don't understand multidimensional, study deeply of what the multidimensional creation is. That means that there are multiple dimensions, and that one creation we just showed you of toxicity is just one level of a multidimensional creation.
Well, let's talk about how we've been taught in this society about scarcity. But truly, the real creation is infinite abundance. There is just so much abundance in resources when used in the right way and evenly distributed, so those resources aren't held by a select few, and not spread out between the people. And there's infinite abundance also in the galaxies where, I mean, in space there, you can come across meteors that are thousands of tons of pure gold of, you know, like, so just, we live in an abundant universe, but it's a mindset that we need to step into. And that's where we start coming together without this like threateningness of, is there enough? So I need to be the one to take it, right? This competitiveness that it puts people against each other versus an abundant mindset where we're all thriving and we all are coming together, right?
Solid.
Yeah.
Nice. Cool. So your human body, how we've been created, we're actually like this really cool spaceship, which is called a Merkaba. And you can study what a Merkaba is. And this Merkaba allows you to go to other timelines through different portals. So you have superpowers.
And we'll definitely dive in to that even more in another episode of, you know, some of the ways to unlock superpowers and
cool.
More of this creation on a galactic level, on a multi-dimensional level, as you touched on, and also in regards to timelines and our ancient past and where we're at today and where we're going forward into the future.
Something super important. Our words are spells. Can we really wrap our head around that? So what we've been gifted this vocal energy, the throat chakra, to speak, to create, to be who each individual is. And each individual is really, really cool. And so it's the importance of being you. Whatever you are, fully be it. And we're rewiring right now. We're figuring this out. Fully be it, all of it. Because you were a specific seed here to be exactly that. Now we were just shown to rewire what we really are to be in that one little box that we're telling you about. So our words of spells are energy creating a frequency. So when you speak or when you think, you're producing that. Anything else on that? A little touch up?
I think that's
solid.
Well said. Of course, there's lots more to say on all of the different points that we just shared.
Boom, points real quick.
And we'll dive deeper into some of those subjects at a later time. Definitely.
Our beings are co-creating this creation and this multiverse. So it's not just Earth here. This is actually a multiverse. Many planets, many star systems with life on them. And they're enjoying their own type of creation. Just like here on Earth, humanity is enjoying this creation. So the cooperation of this creation, can you hit it?
And how it's all interconnected and how it's all one. Even the separate dimensions or the different planets, all of this layers of creation are all interconnected, but also they're their own separate creations, but also it's all one. As above, so below. It all loops. This is the torus, okay? So as it goes up and out, it goes down and back in and loops back around. So
it's a cycle of life.
Yeah. And it's exciting, and there's an amazing future that lies ahead of us. Let's leave on that. Like, really, over the next few years, we're going to see so much changes on the planet for the good, for a future with the systems and the ways of being that really serve us in the highest way, that we can really start stepping into this whole new world that lies before us.
Yeah, we're power seeds. And so, let's hit it.
Woo-woo. Love you all.